guitar driven, but not guitar driven, and it's just it's a really interesting where it came from, and also the various equipment that they used to make it. You know, like the early sampling. I have to mention that some of that sound, like I had one that was an Akai X7000, I think, probably 12-bit sampling, and the Akai early MPC samplers where you could get short 8-second to 12-second samples. But the thing about the lower sample rate is it had this very much of a kind of a crunchy sound to it. And so they started really using that for drums and whatever that would be sampled into it. Mostly probably the early industrial stuff. They were using a lot of that for the drums and the guitars, I would imagine.
Right on.
Which is kind of, but it you know, it's interesting is that it kept the keyboards, and I guess my point with all that, it kept keyboards alive. There was a second there where keyboards were starting to go out of vogue, but the people that kind of kept it alive were the guys doing industrial, like the bands you mentioned, Ministry, KFM, DFM.
Here's one for you. This is a great question for you because to me, I was really obsessed with it, and a lot of people hated it. The year was 1986, and bands like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Rat,
Yes.
Queensryche, Living Colour, everybody went Roland synth guitar 86. Mm-hmm. And I know you remember that time, and all those bands went on that. And to me, I thought it was super cool, the sound of that synth guitar. And how did that affect you, like, when that whole thing came in? I mean, wasn't that pretty game-changing, I think?
I think so, too. It was huge game-changing, because I saw the potential of it, you know.
And being a keyboard guy and the guitar guy, it's kind of the melding of two worlds, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the very beginning of it got my interest, and I eventually had pursued that myself because of I have like the opposite approach of it as a keyboard player. I think of as just sounds and patches, you know. It doesn't. But yeah, the original ones were how it started and where it ended up was just incredible. I mean, when you saw all the original guys that picked those up, those original Roland VG 808s. And
that was a really special moment.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of rock and metal purists who completely hated that era of like Turbo, Somewhere in Time, and that whole sound, you know, that synth guitar thing, man.
Right,
so,
where they see, I think there's this idea that synthesizers are the opposite of guitar, which I just don't think is true. I think
you're a guy that's made
well, especially a Moog in a guitar. You know?
Totally, there you go.
A Moog is very electronic, but at the same time, it's got also this very warm, organic sound to it.
My current guitar player, he built put a Chaos pad that's usually a DJ effect thing.
Right.
He put it on his guitar, so he makes these
Chaos
effect sounds.
Yeah.
Live with Mannequin Planet, and a Chaos pad built right into the guitar. So I want to say too, I'm proud to say Gary worked on the intro and the outro for the new Mannequin Planet album, A Living Statue in a Dying World. And that was pretty awesome. Air raid sirens, among other things, the sounds that he brought in. So getting back to your original work, I mean, besides The End of the World, is there anything that came before or after that you want to promote to the people on what you're doing since then or before then?
Yeah, well, in addition to working on the new stuff for Mannequin Planet, the new intros, I'm also doing making videos with Tom for Harold some of his original stuff and covers, and then also my own original stuff. The next song is some more original songs like that are kind of different, various styles, like kind of like what I describe as like cyberpunk. One song is called Blame that I'm hoping we'll make another video like in the style of the same style as End of the World,
Yeah.
or the Mannequin Planet just kind of like I'd like the cartoon style for this one, you know, but just kind of a cyberpunk cartoon.
Is there anywhere people can go to hear your songs besides the End of the World on the Subterranean Studio Oakland?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel also that's just under my own regular name, Gary Goldsworthy. There's not a lot on there, and some of it is old, but I also am updating it and putting the new stuff in.
Right on, man.
And plan to cross-link it as I have some more time. The other thing I was thinking about is just like what we're doing is that I thought was very rare when I was a kid is just musicians talk and artists talking about making art and music. You know, you had to really kind of search that down when I was a kid. You know, in a magazine, or you find a book that might be written by a musician that's, you know, and so to me that's really fascinating. And if there's other people that are interested in that, then yeah, I would do more of that. You know, like talking about it or whatever whatever songs or the process of that, because I think it is, you know, it's interesting to me because I do it. But if it's, you know, I don't know. What do you think?
It's the only thing that's left that brings people together. I feel it's
Right.
a total bond, especially me, you, and Tom being in the same age range. And it's
Right.
like I think we came from a time that was better before the internet. A lot of that helps, but it really kills the human interaction.
Right.
That what it used to be, you know.
Sure.
I feel, and but yeah, we were lucky to come up in a time where I feel we were coming up in the better decades than
Yeah.
what's to come, and what those people, you know, it's definitely not the same anymore.
Yeah, I
So-
think that not having to show up as much. I think that's the
I mean, think about the talent level. If we just get to all the funk and soul and R&B guys in the 70s, groups like Heat Wave. Luckily, you have YouTube to look this up.
Right.
Chic, Lakeside, you know, all these great groups. Early Cool in the Gang. They don't make them like that anymore. Now you just have auto tune and this mumble rap stuff,
or,
and
Earth, Wind,
very
Fire.
very small vocabulary on what you put out there. It's a travesty that a lot of these Grammy Award winners are. There's like a pinky of. They're just no talent hacks winning
Right.
awards and getting praise, and unfortunately, the funk guys. They never even saw that kind of money for really super quality stuff.
And
man,
I
so.
just want to mention how hard they had to work to make that happen. You know, I was in a band a couple years ago that was a 10-piece band that did a lot of horn-driven music, like, you know, Tower Power or the funk. Like one of the songs we tried to pull off was an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Nice. See, that's the best stuff ever to me.
Yeah. And
I would say the best music ever sold and told, in my opinion. I'm even coming from a big rock and metal guy. It's like funk, soul, R&B, disco. It's like that's the thing.
And the
funk
leader-
being
the
number
leader-
one. You know.
The leader
It's,
complained it didn't sound like enough like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I had to make the point. Well, you know, we rehearse once a week. We rehearse that song once. You know, so
Yeah.
what, we're spending maybe 20 minutes on it once a week. You know, and then we might go play it. And I said, the Earth, Wind, and Fire, that was their, they showed up every day, and that was their job, was to be Earth, Wind, and Fire, and probably maybe work on whatever song we were working on. They probably worked on that for weeks before they recorded it, or, but they were, my point with that is they were showing up every day, and that was like their thing. They didn't just show up once a week and play it once, and then,
yeah.
think of how long that would have taken them to do that if that was the way they were doing it. And I don't want to sound like an elitist, but they were coming up with what if to compare it to food, like with a gourmet recipe, and they were gourmet cooks in a gourmet kitchen, and what we were trying to do is take that gourmet recipe and put it into a fast food kitchen with fast food cooks.
Damn.
And you know what
That's
I
a
mean,
good
and
way to
try to
break it
present
down.
it, You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that a Big Mac isn't good. I mean, I love fast food, you know, and I love gourmet food, but I don't want to be told that a Big Mac is gourmet anymore. You know what I mean?
Well said, my friend. Well said. Hey, are you aware of this?
We're talking about the amount of work that's been put into it. Is really what in my point, and those people showing up. And I'm not sure that that can happen if you're not showing up. You know, more than just, you know, once a week, or, you know, playing the song one time through, you know, or whatever. That was, you know, people showing up and really putting in some sweat, you know, and
Yeah.
grease.
Back then, you had to know how to sing, dance, dress well, play an instrument,
Right.
or you'd be laughed out of the building. Nowadays, you don't need any of that, and you're just like.
But look at the payoff,
you know,
because they did that. They might not have gotten rich, but we're still talking about their
Exactly.
ass, you know, 40 or 50 years later, you know.
Hey, being on the subject, I wasn't sure if you were aware of this, but
Yeah.
did you know that Paul Stanley formed an R&B funk soul project where he does originals and covers of other artists?
I've heard that, and I
Paul
haven't
Stanley's
gotten to hear of it
Soul
yet.
Station.
Because I heard.
I
two
think it's
crazy
on
things, and
YouTube.
He's done some country songs too.
I just only heard this
I
funk
haven't heard either
soul
one
thing
yet.
that he did. So,
but I heard that he's been dabbling. That he made.
But
a
that's
country
pretty
album,
cool.
and
There's
that he
another
made an
rocker.
R&B album.
Yeah,
and
and
I want to hear it because I love his voice.
yeah, and there's another rocker that is, open to the soul and the funk, and I mean, great music is great music, and so we'll move on to.
He's always been a very soulful singer. Yeah.
So people can check your YouTube page out under
it's
Gary Goldsworthy. Yeah, and
Yeah.
look forward to other stuff from this man in the future. And
Yes.
I know Tom's busy, but it's just great the history you two have
Yeah.
in the Bay Area music scene, and that's just awesome, man. And like I said, I didn't get here till '91, but I just love living these stories through you guys before I arrived here. So, hey, thanks for your time, man, and look
Thank
forward to
you.
hearing more great music and art from you in the
Yes.
near future.
And Eyes of the Mannequin Planet as well. I look forward to participating some more in what you guys are doing too.
Yeah, I really hope that works
exciting.
out, man. I can't
Yeah.
wait, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
man.
exciting. Thank you.
Right on.